listening to Power Producers Shop Talk, where we are refining and redefining the sales game by equipping you with the tools you need to differentiate yourself in the marketplace.
Well, it's like when we audit the mod with Logic and give them the action items that they're going to use to lower their total cost of risk.
Tactical skills that will help you provide deliverable value to your clients and prospects.
Technology is not an expense, it's an investment. Look at what Think HR has done for our clients and even our team. It's an amazing product, and I'm so thankful we have that.
And action items that you can provide to take your prospects and clients to the next level.
Things are changing for us in 2021. Not all big business anymore. Now that we have Cover Wallet on our team, it's amazing that we're going to be able to write small business profitably.
This is Power Producer Shop Talk. Production redefined. Are you ready to feel the power?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Power Producers Podcast, where apparently we start our countdown with 6 instead of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, that was very weird, but we have a great episode of Shop Talk for you today, where we are going to talk about 3 old school sales tactics that still work, but then we're going to give you a way that you can bring those into the 21st century and change how the game is played.
I like it. I like old school.
Old school works, man.
I agree.
School, but I think that we can be too new school sometimes, especially in what we're doing, because with middle market specifically, I think people need to take the approach that technology is made. You should incorporate technology in your agency to enhance the human experience, not replace it, right? Yep. In our game, when you're going in and you're looking to, score $10, $20, $50,000 in commissions on an account, you're not going to do that over email very, very often.
No.
And if you do, the company's probably based in Bulgaria and will stiff you on your payments anyhow. And, a year and a half later, you'll still be bitter about it.
That was old school. That was not email.
No, it was. You're right.
In that piece.
You're right. But I have three very distinct things that I think work very, very well to this day. Number one is cold call marketing drops. I mean, to me, that will be the king always, period. A lot of people don't like to cold call. They don't like to walk into somebody's lobby fresh and, try and open an opportunity. To me, that's a challenge. It allows me.
That's how I got introduced into the sales world. So the most comfortable, and even though it's not comfortable for a lot of people, for me it is.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, if you're a good salesperson, you should want to cold call. Like that should be your jam, period. Like otherwise, it's like playing basketball on a Nerf hoop versus playing in the NBA.
Yeah.
Although my Nerf hoop game is pretty solid. I will run over my kids in the lane every time.
Dude, you will get crossed. No, not a question about it.
Number one, that will not happen because my wingspan is no less than 9 feet wide. And number two,
dude,
we don't call charges in the lane where I come from. Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Hey, hang on a second here.
And by the way,
didn't you sprain your ankle earlier this year, like 6 months ago, just walking around your house?
I did, and I'm going to go ahead and throw that one on Cole Haan, by the way. Not happy with the rigidity of the soles on those shoes. That's what happened.
Oh, my God.
I hit on the angle on my new shoes and rolled under instead of rolling over to the surface. But listen, I don't even have to cross you over. I can give you the one step in and hit you with a fadeaway, and you won't even know what happened until you see that.
Disrespectful. This is the
you see it kiss off the glass. You have no idea about my basketball game. You just know that I'm fat, and you assume that fat people can't play. So I'm going to make a.
I assume that you're not agile enough to handle my handle, and I would take you to the rack, and you would still be at the free throw line. This is the equivalent of me saying that I'm going to step up to the plate and take you oppo with your best stuff. It's not happening.
You do understand that I also had the opportunity to play basketball in college. I just chose baseball. And I can still stand on the wing and make it rain all day long, regardless. Don't have to jump. Don't have to run. I got the set shot like Jimmy Chitwood. Don't get caught watching the paint dry, brother.
All right. We'll see.
Anyhow, so that being okay, you know what? That would actually be YouTube gold. We should do a one-on-one video. That would be awesome. We should have done B-roll video shots of one-on-one yesterday.
Oh man, we should.
I went home and showed my wife the B-roll shots of the new opening, and her first question is,
of me?
Yes.
They're
why
so
didn't
bad.
Why didn't you invite me over to watch that? Like
So-
that was her
so
first
bad.
question. And then she saw the static images of you posing for the YouTube thumbnails, and she said,
with the and outside.
no, inside, where you were just like pointing at a random thing on the wall so that I could use it in YouTube thumbnails.
So bad.
The one with your arms arms crossed.
I probably look like
no, I'm going to tell you exactly what she said. This is directly out of her mouth. He looks like a skinny version of Alan from The Hangover. All he needs is a fanny pack. And when I looked at the picture again, and when I looked at the picture again, you did. You look just like Zach Galifianakis in The Hangover. Anybody ready to let the dogs out?
That's awesome. One of my favorite movies.
Oh, I laughed so hard.
They were bad. It's just a weird thing to do. It's not like a normal. I don't know, man.
I think maybe the problem is
to do with my hands.
I think that the problem is that Duran loved doing them so much that,
dude,
it made.
I'm going to go ahead and just say that mine, as bad as they were, there's no way that they can be that bad.
Anyhow, I'm going to rein it back in. Cold call marketing drops. I mean, I think that seriously, you know, that to me is the best. It's the easiest way. You have control over that entire process for all practical purposes. And it's a matter, to me, it's probably the closest thing to going into the octagon in the UFC as you can in the sales game. It's
and
you
so
against
we talked
them.
about it, I think last week or on one of the last episodes, whatever, that one of the main advantages is you can read people. Like, you can see their body language, and they're not going to, when you're on the phone, like we just talked about, they can just bang right on you.
You know what?
You're done.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because I do think that COVID has made it interesting now that you can't see if people are smiling at you when they greet you or whatever else. I mean, I'm having to stare deep into someone's soul through their eyeballs to try and figure out what's going on if they have a mask on. And, you know, it made me really, I actually was thinking about this the other day, you know, even holding the door for somebody going into Wawa. You can't see that they smiled at you, or you can't hear them tell you good morning or thank you or anything else because their voice is muffled. It's really made it interesting in the cold call game. But I do think, for me, especially in the middle market, if you're not doing cold call marketing drops, then you are not trying to sell, really. Now, is there a savant out there that is the king of email that doesn't have to do anything else? Yeah, I'm not talking to that guy. He never comes out of his cave anyhow.
Yeah,
I'm talking to everybody else out there that's looking to intentionally sell in the middle market. You got to do the drops, and I'm going to give you some tips when we get through what the other two are on what you can do to modernize that a little bit. Second one's the phones. You know, we talk about the phones all the time. The phones still work. As stupid as the car warranty thing is, it has to work or they wouldn't be doing it.
right.
People are buying car warranties because they get called about their car warranty. I don't even know where these people get their information. It is amazing to me because they're calling me about 3 cars ago. I don't even have the car anymore.
Right. Yes.
You know, and I get excited because it's an 813 number, and I think, oh, this is somebody who I'm getting a referral. I can't wait to talk to them. And it's either that, it's my Google listing, or it's open enrollment is ending soon. Like, those are the 3 that I always get. Now, I think, you know, that we have discounted the value of phones up until COVID, and I think a lot more people are adopting the phones now because that's what they have to do. What I do think about the phones that works is this. If you're calling cold, and let me just preface what I mean by that, because we call cold all the time. But I'm talking about when you call cold with, like, no real knowledge of the company. Like, we haven't pulled the experience mod yet. We haven't, you know, tried to do any of our basic research that we would do on a really hot prospect. When you call cold, just ask for the appointment. That's it. Ask for the appointment. Make it short, sweet, couple sentences, go for the appointment, get the appointment, call it a day. When you have information, it's a different story. But my fear is that, and not my fear, but my experience has shown me that people by and large are busy trying to close the deal when all they need to do is book the appointment. And so, even using
trying to close the deal on the phone, and it's not.
It's never going to happen.
Right.
It is never. If
That's
it
not
does,
the reason you're calling them anyways. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
If it does happen on the phone, you should be concerned because, somebody just made a buying decision based on a single random phone call.
Right.
But, even when we do have the information, I think it's really, really important that you temper that, right? You can't get into a technical mod conversation over the phone. Half these people or more don't even know what the mod is, when it comes out, how it's calculated, which is why I don't want Marvin talking about it when he calls to set appointments. But even when we call, it doesn't need to get into the long and drawn out discussion about indemnity claims and all of the other things that go on. It's literally your mod's going up, I mean, in the script I use, are you happy that you're paying at least 40% more than your peer group for insurance on workers' compensation? Mm-hmm. That's fine. Don't go any more left or right than that. The last one is probably the one that people do least, that I think probably has the potential to have the biggest impact on somebody, at least from a first impression standpoint, and that's handwritten notes. I think handwritten notes are old school. People don't do them.
Yep.
I don't know if it's because our handwriting sucks, which mine does. I'm sure people are trying to figure out what the heck it even says when I send it. But I think that there is a certain amount of respect you get from someone if you take the time to give them a handwritten note. And I don't think a lot of people do that. And it's cheap to do. I mean, you can get nice personalized stationery for relatively inexpensive. And take the time to write notes. One of my number one tricks that I use is with the Tampa Bay Business Journal. Every year when I get the book of lists, I love sitting down with the book of lists. I specifically go to the Fast 50, and I send every single one of them a congratulations note. Hey, congrats for making the Fast 50. You're one of the fastest growing companies in the Tampa Bay area. Can't wait to be on the list with you next year. Talk soon. That's it. Pop my business card in there because, as we've already discussed on a different podcast, my business card is cash money. It's metal, stainless steel. They're going to keep it, right? And so if I pop that into a handwritten note, I know I'm going to get their attention. Whether they call me right away or not, I'm not really looking for them to reach out and worship me because I sent them a handwritten note. I'm looking for them to remember.
And they're probably not going to either.
They're not. No, but when I pick up the phone to call them,
right, they're
going to remember my business card and the fact that I took the time to give them a handwritten note.
Yep.
So how do you modernize that?
How do you
modernize those three things? I'm going to just give it to you. Video. Period.
I was gonna say do a video, like how we do video quotes or whatever. But
video, right? So let's break them down now. We're going to do a cold call marketing drop. Guess what? When I get back, put in an automation sequence into your CRM or do it manually, but record 2 messages. And listen, you don't have to record this message unless you want to. I probably would do one for each individual person so that I could personalize it. I'm kind of a big deal working on my upcoming career on Cameo. But that being said, I think there's more impact if you do that, but you should have 2 different videos. You go in, you do a cold call marketing drop, and you meet the decision maker or the person you want to meet. That video is, hey, I just wanted to reach out to you, tell you how great it was to meet you today. As we discussed, I'm going to be in your area again in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to go ahead and reach out to you to schedule some time for us to sit down and talk when you're actually planning on me coming by. Or I've included my calendar link below, and if you want to schedule that time proactively, you're welcome to schedule time anytime that it's available for you.
Mm-hmm.
Again, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Boom. You're done. Never mentioned his name or her name. Never mentioned a company name. That could be used for literally every single person you're following up with. Or you could do the same thing in that script, and then instead of doing it generic, just memorize the script or the main talking points and throw their name in there. in their company name in a couple of places, and they're going to be like, wow, this guy really went the extra mile because they included our name and company name. So you have the video, which is already going to be impressive. Then you do the extra 2 minutes and you put their name and their company name in there and you're golden. Do the same thing if you didn't meet the decision maker. Hey, I just wanted to touch base. Sorry I missed you when I was there today, but I am going to be back in the next couple of weeks. Would love to schedule time to sit down and talk to you about how our firm has helped companies just like yours save a substantial amount of money throughout the course of the year in the Bay Area. I'm going to reach out to you to schedule time, but if you'd like to do that proactively, my calendar link is included. And you're not putting all of this in the email, right? You're putting it in the email, but typically what you're going to do is you're going to get a JPEG of your thumbnail, and you're going to get that little sideways arrow, the play button on there, and then you're going to link to that image in your email, and when you click on it, it goes to a landing page that has this. And so now you're not only impressing them, but you're getting the open rate on the email, you're getting the click-through rate on the email, and then you're capturing the amount of view time. And if they're already on a landing page that's on the domain of your website, you can now monitor what other pages they go to see if they're poking and prodding around. If it's somebody who goes directly to the landing page and then leaves, that's not going to be somebody that I'm going to be as excited about as somebody who goes to the landing page and then clicks on About Us and then maybe reads a blog or two that we did, and then maybe then goes and clicks on the link at the top that says pricing. You click that pricing link, that's like hitting, the jackpot for me, because that's telling me you're interested in how much I cost right now, which is exactly what I want you to do. So I think those are two ways, the one where you meet the decision maker, the one where you don't. The second piece with the phones, same thing, right? On the phones, you're calling to get an appointment. When you get that appointment, if you really want to set things in your favor, when you send the meeting invite over, have an embedded video into that too. Hey, I just want to let you know, I really appreciate you agreeing to meet with me. I look forward to our time. I'm going to talk to you about a few things, and here's what they are. I want you to take a few minutes to think about that, and if there are things you don't think we should talk about, give me some feedback and let me know, and I'll pull them out of the agenda. And if there's some stuff you want to add, give me that too. But again, I don't want to take up all of your day. Just wanted you to put a name with a face since we talked on the phone and let you know I really look forward to seeing you here at our meeting. Again, I never mentioned anybody's name. I never mentioned a company name. But if I wanted to, I could. And then that makes it extremely personable. Again, you want to be able to measure the activity of these people too. How many people are clicking to watch the video, and then how many people are going and doing research about Florida Risk Partners prior to the meeting? The last one is the handwritten note, and people are like, oh, I can't wait to see what kind of witchcraft he's going to use to get a video into a handwritten note. Well, here's a fun fact. There's actually a company out there that creates video mailers so that when you open it up, it's a full-blown HD video inside the card that's the message to the person you're trying to reach. Now, those are about $25 a piece. So if you're not going to spend the money on it, all you got to do is the same strategy as the other two, but instead of sending it an email, put the link in, just write the link. Write the link in the handwritten card. Hey, I put a special video message for you here. Boom. Let them click the link, go to it, and you can measure whether or not you're getting click-throughs from direct mail as well. Now, ultimately, what you want to do is you want to have a marketing plan that's going to allow you to combine all of this stuff. You should be doing, cold call marketing, telemarketing, handwritten notes, video follow-up, and all of that so that you're playing off of each thing. But you can begin to build custom audiences based on specific campaigns to show your conversion factors of written business as a result of that. So then you can then take the information from your CRM and look at it and make the decision. Is cold calling the number one way we're converting business? And you follow the percentages through. Is telemarketing the number one way? Are we getting business from handwritten notes? And if we are, what percentage of those are we closing? How much has it been? All of that stuff. But I think that by sticking video into the mix, you take proven tactics that have worked for decades and you bring them into the 21st century. And it's benefit of getting somebody excited because you're different, but it also gives you, quantitative analysis ability.
Right. Yep. Seeing what the results of those actions are. I think that part's huge. There you go.
What did I miss?
I mean, nothing. I took some notes. Hopefully everybody else did too. I think that was pretty solid.
Yeah, I think it was too, as far as solid goes. Now we just have to execute on it.
Right.
But I mean,
I definitely
I'd be
dropped
really
the ball
good
on the whole handwritten note thing. I don't do it. There's no real reason other than I just.
You know what I did? I've started blocking off time, and I just do it. Like my time is for that. I'm in the process of wrapping up reading the book Atomic Habits, and I can tell you that my life is in shambles based on what this gentleman has to say about habits. You know what I did? I started leaving the book by the toilet. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's it. That's how the book gets read. When Daniel Song says, read 10 pages a day, I need to so what Atomic Habits says is you got to make the cues readily accessible. So if I had the book sitting on my desk in the office, but I'm going to have a couple of minutes of free time when I need to take care of things in the morning, I'd be better served having the book in the bathroom so that I read it. Guess what? Right. I've already read an entire book in the last week and a half because I put the book
time, dude.
I just read really fast. But I mean, it's stupid stuff like that. Or have the book on your nightstand. If you're going to say, I'm going to read first thing in the morning for 10 minutes every day when I get up, have the book sitting there so that when you get up, it's there.
Yeah.
Or have the book, if you're going to read, if you're going to drink your coffee while you read and you have to make your coffee first, have the book sitting out next to the coffee maker so that you can grab it when you make your cup of coffee. And if you're going to take it out on the patio to read or whatever else, it's already there. Same thing holds true with doing some of these habits, especially the handwritten notes. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to call on the phones either. Right. But if you block the time off and you make it easy for you to do that and less easy for you to do the other things, like social media is probably the biggest culprit. And unfortunately, a lot of my business is based off of social media at this point. Yeah. So I have to be on it, but I also need to do a better job of controlling being on it all the time. So like on Fridays when I come in as my office day, I will not take meetings on Friday unless it's spillover from somebody who has an emergency and I need to deal with it, because I couldn't get to it during the rest of the week. I don't even open a web browser and put social media on. I leave my phone turned upside down and the other side of my desk and let it charge so that I don't have it in front of me. And maybe once every hour and a half or so, I pick it up and look at it. And email's the same way. I don't even open Outlook unless part of what I have to do is to get emails returned or whatever. But if I'm working on projects, whether it be submissions or risk assessment reports or whatever else, and I need to put the pedal to the metal, I don't even turn that stuff on. So I know we're going into a rabbit hole that probably be its own separate episode and probably and will be. But I do think that, if people are struggling with any one of those things, everything we do is intentional. If we don't intentionally do it, it's not going to give us the result that we want. So intentionally plan to do these things, and they work. I mean, it's nothing more than you actually doing it.
It's like going to the gym, man. Hardest part's getting there.
Yeah, I know. I'm going next week. I'm finally starting back. I feel good.
COVID screwed me, man. I was going every day.
Well, I'm just going to tell you right now, there's a lot of soccer moms in yoga pants at Orange Theory Fitness that better look out because I'm getting ready to blow the bolts off that rower. It's coming. I'm coming fast.
Wasn't sure where you were going with that.
It's coming. I'm coming fast and furious. The fat, sweaty guy is going to be back, and you don't have enough paper towels and sanitizer to contain my nonsense. All right, everybody, have a great weekend, and I can't wait to record next Friday because I will have been at that gym every day for a week, and maybe I'll be miserable, maybe I won't.
There you go.
Hogan, no comments from you either, buddy. You've already said enough. See ya.
You've been listening to Power Producers Shop Talk. You can follow us at the Power Producers Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. And if you want to take your game to the next level, check out our commercial insurance training course at killingcommercial.com or visit Amazon to pick up a copy of our international best-selling book, The Extra 2 Minutes.